Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another review. This is going to be a movie review for Shutter Island. And yeah, this movie stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Ben Kingsley, and Mark Ruffalo. Um, and yeah, before I begin though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out, and then come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up, so for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me, then I'll give you a fair warning, because as usual, I did. So yeah, Shutter Island, what did I think of it? As usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rates. So yeah, basically this takes place in the 1950s, and you have Leonardo DiCaprio portraying Marshal Teddy's U.S. Marshal Teddy Daniels. He's basically trying to investigate the disappearance of a patient from this mental institution that's basically the mental institution version of Alcatraz. It's basically Alcatraz. Yeah, it's basically Alcatraz and a mental hospital combined. That's what you get, Shutter Island. And yeah, this is definitely a movie worth watching. The ending for sure. I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm not gonna say what happens at the end. But yeah, but I do want to say though that before I watched this movie, one of my douchebag friends ruined the ending for me. So yeah, but when I did see it, I'm like, it was actually pretty cool to see the way it was, despite the fact that I already knew what the ending was, thanks to my douchebag friend. The way they revealed it was still pretty interesting, and I did like it. And once they found out what happened, I'm gonna try to tread lightly on this one. Once they found out what happened, and then the aftermath, and once the guy understands, it's funny to see him revert back to his original state. to his original state. So yeah, hopefully that didn't give away too much. So yeah, it was actually a pretty decent. It was a pretty good movie. There are flaws with it. There are some flaws with it, and which I do have to point out. The pacing was sometimes, especially towards the middle, the pacing was like all over the place in my opinion. My opinion was just like all over the place in the middle. It was just weird. So yeah, I mean, I do understand there is that psychiatric aspect of it that makes a few things confusing. So I guess in a sense it works for it, but at the same time it doesn't. So yeah, the psychiatric aspect of having everything be so confusing at times does work for it, and at other times it doesn't really work for it. So yeah, so that aspect was pretty interesting, and again that leads up to the ending, which I'm not gonna say. The acting is actually pretty good. The action's not the action. There were a few action scenes. They're handled pretty well in my opinion. But yeah, the acting was pretty good in my opinion. Leonardo DiCaprio, he's one of my favorite actors. So this is a great role for him. Mark Ruffalo, he did pretty good in his role. I didn't notice that was Mark Ruffalo at the beginning though. So yeah, and then Ben Kingsley. He was creepy. He was creepy and kind of douchey. I guess that's the type of role he was supposed to play. So he did a good job. I don't know. So yeah, I mean overall it was a pretty good movie. It was interesting at times. It was thrilling. Yeah, there were some aspects where was thrilling, which was pretty good. Like the one scene where Leonardo DiCaprio, he's in the not catacombs, but he's like in the basements of the jail or whatever, or psychiatric hospital. He's in the basements, right? And they're trying to catch this one patient who got loose, and that was pretty eerie and interesting. So yeah, it does have its eerie moments. It does have its interesting moments, and overall it was a pretty good film, and do check it out if you haven't already. The ending, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna be a douchebag like my friends and spoil it. But it is surprising, it is shock, and yeah, Martin Scorsese, the director, might have heard of him. If I don't know, but you might have heard of him. He does he's done other films. Yeah, he did Wolf of Wall Street. Don't know if you heard that one. So yeah, the ending, Martin Scorsese, that was a great twist in my opinion, and yeah, overall it was a pretty great movie. It does have its flaws pacing wise, and there are some things that confusion wise that really doesn't work for it. What that's trying to work with, but really doesn't work with. So it does have its own issues, but overall it is still a pretty great movie, and definitely do check it out. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent. I give it an 8 out of 10. It's a pretty good movie, so definitely do check it out. And yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. So definitely do stay tuned for that. Besides that, comment down below on your thoughts on the movie. Have you seen it? And if not, why not? And if you haven't, why not? And if you have what your thoughts on it, comment on that down below. Let me know. Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.